Hello beautifuls, my name is Quavia and welcome to JuJu Thyme. In today's video I have another Afro folktale for you. This Afro folktale is all about Eshu-Elegba and it comes from the book Jambalaya by Miss Louisa Tish. Now, if you have been with me for quite some time now, you know that I have a deep love and respect for Eshu-Elegba. In the Sacred Serpent series that I've been doing for quite some time now, this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time where I share tales about Eshu-Elegba, who he is, his concept, his principle, what he governs, and his power are all things that I am very much drawn to, but at the same time I admire from a respectful distance. Those who understand Eshu-Elegba understand why. And I want to share this particular tale because I remember the first time I had read it, it completely flabbergasted me. It made sense, but at the same time, it didn't make sense. And this is why I want to share this tale. So, before I go further into my own personal thoughts and downloads when it comes to this tale, let me first tell you what Eshu-Elegba did at the crossroad. I hope you enjoy it.
One day, Eshu-Elegba came into the marketplace and announced, "Take care where you place your feet. There is danger on the road today." Then Eshu-Elegba went to the crossroads and lined the path with banana peels in all directions. He stood on the corner and waited. Along came a young man who asked, "May I pass safely?" Eshu-Elegba said, "Yes." The young man stepped into the crossroads, slipped on a banana peel, and busted his lip. Eshu-Elegba laughed. Next, a young woman came to the crossroads and asked, "May I pass safely across the road?" Eshu-Elegba said, "Yes," and escorted the lady across the road. Then Eshu-Elegba cried. Eshu-Elegba stood at the crossroads and asked himself, "May I pass safely?" Eshu-Elegba said, "Yes." He stepped on a banana peel, fell down, and broke his leg. Then Eshu-Elegba danced with great agility. This tale flabbergasted me. As I said, when I first read it, it made sense, but at the same time, it just didn't make any sense. A lot can be said about what happened in this tale and what Eshu-Elegba is trying to tell us about himself and life. So I have to ask, when listening to this tale, where did you find yourself? What did you focus on? Because when I first read this tale, my first instinct was to decipher the difference between the young man asking Eshu-Elegba to cross the road and the young woman asking Eshu-Elegba to cross the road. I wanted to understand, why did Eshu-Elegba help one and not the other? Now, a little bit about Eshu-Elegba. When it comes to ceremonies, everything starts and ends with him. So it made sense to me that the man and the woman would ask him first before crossing the road. Another thing about Eshu-Elegba is that he is the definition, the messenger, and the leader of what it means to be the agent of chaos, okay? He's chaotic and unpredictable. He can save your life and give you good luck 1 minute, but at the same time, he can cause chaos in your life. Yes, he is considered a trickster, but he is so much more. He's the ultimate teacher. He is both the mischievous child and the old wise elder. He lives and rules the in-between and embodies it fully. He is the personal messenger of destiny, and not to mention, he is a fantastic warrior. However, back to these two people in this tale. The only difference that I could connect as to why he helped one and not the other is, one, of course, he's unpredictable and chaotic, And two, the way they asked their question was completely different. The man asked, "May I pass safely?" Elegba said yes. The man slipped, fell, and busted his lip. Whereas the woman asked, "May I pass safely across the road?" And Elegba said yes and helped her. So there is something to be said about our own lives regarding the clarity of what it is we are asking for. But again, this did not satisfy me. There was something I was missing and I just wasn't seeing it. So I put the tale down, and a few years later, now I'm revisiting it. I was called back to this tale to reread it and sit down with it and understand it. In revisiting this tale, my focus at first went back to these two individuals, thinking perhaps life would have taught me something that I didn't know before. Turns out it didn't, at least not yet. But what did happen when I sat down with the tale, because Spirit drew me back to the tale and there was no putting it back down. So what happened when I sat down with my spirits and this tale, I realized and asked myself, why was I so obsessed with trying to find the key to avoid problems, chaos, and the key to how to get to the other side safely? Like I said, there could be something there about how the question was asked, absolutely. But then I thought, maybe life was just lifing and Elegba was just Elegbaing, Turns out I was only trying to solve Elegba, and there is no solving Eshu-Elegba. That's not even possible. How do you solve something that is the agent and leader of the impossible and chaotic? I then realized that my focus was on the wrong character in this tale. My focus should have been on Elegba this whole time. So I looked at the tale again, but this time through the eyes and actions of Elegba, at least to the best of my abilities. So Elegba went to the marketplace and warned everyone, hey, listen up, watch where you're walking, there's going to be danger on the road today. Eshu-Elegba doesn't care who you are. They are the definition of an equal opportunist, and he gives everyone the same message of warning. He then goes to the crossroad, where there was no danger, by the way. But he goes to the crossroad where there is no danger and places danger on the crossroad. Okay, he's wily, he's a rascal. So we understand this. But then he just sits and waits. Okay, this speaks to Eshu-Elegba's chaotic, mischievous, and just absurd side to his principle and power. We can question, why did he place danger when there was none? But to get into that is beyond any human's pay grade. The only way I can possibly, maybe, answer this question is by saying, because he's teaching us. He is a master teacher. So, the first student came, the young man, and he was given permission to pass, but as we know, he slipped, fell, and busted his lip. What did Elegba do? He laughed. The second student came, the young woman, and he also gave her permission to pass. She passed safely. And what did Elegba do? He cried. Again, maybe she figured out something in the wording of the question. Maybe, but let's continue. The third student came. The third student was himself, and he asked himself, "May I pass safely?" He asked the question the same way the young man did. And when he tried to pass, he slipped, fell, and broke his leg. So I thought, why would he ask the question like the young man when he could have asked the question like the young woman and possibly gotten across without breaking his leg? Yes, he didn't have an escort like she did, but he's Elegba. He's Eshu-Elegba. There is nothing impossible for him. That's when I heard the message from Spirit saying that this means it's not about the question at all or how to word it. With both the young man and himself, he celebrated the fall. He laughed at the young man and he danced for himself. When the young woman passed safely, he cried. There was nothing to celebrate. When Elegba broke his leg, he started to dance with great agility. Agility is the ability to move quickly and easily, and the ability to think and understand quickly. We don't know what the young man gained. We only know that Elegba laughed. But with the young woman, she didn't learn anything, so he cried. With himself, I'm sure it would have been completely possible for him to avoid his own trap, but he didn't. He fell and gained more abilities. This thought opened my mind even further because I also realized that in this tale, it shows that not even Eshu-Elegba himself is above his own principles, warnings, and rules. He gave everyone the warning that there was danger on the crossroad. He placed that danger and fell to his own warning. No master teacher is above what they teach or say, and even a master teacher falls. Eshu-Elegba, despite his very, very high position in the movement of everything in the cosmos, including our own destinies, you don't put him on a pedestal. Actually, his altars most of the time is either hidden or behind something or on the floor. And this is a master teacher that we're talking about. So there's something here that can be said about placing people on pedestals and about making fun of someone or hurting someone when that same thing can happen to you. Eshu-Elegba is not above it. You and I are not above it. Now, the very, very human side of me, I guess my ego, kind of rebelled this story. I'm not gonna lie. I felt a part of me say, oh, so are we glorifying suffering now? Are we saying everything happens for a reason? And I literally felt my stomach turn and want to vomit, because anyone who knows me in real life knows that I was not, and I feel nobody is, placed on this earth to suffer. I refuse and I rebuke it, okay? And everyone else that knows me knows that I hate the saying, everything happens for a reason. Ugh. It's, for me, it's just so much more complicated and has so many layers and nuances, okay? Well, anyway, when I listened to that very, very still and quiet part of me, the message that came through was very clear. No one was born to suffer, but you were born to learn. Earth is the marketplace. At this point, the very human side of me shut up because I personally felt that truth and that love. What better way to learn than to fall and gain the ability to move, think, and understand more easily and quickly? this reminds me of that other tale I read with about the Baba John. That story was about our troubles. Definitely go and listen to that tale after this video if you haven't yet. But this kind of reminded me of that other tale. But anyway, the spiritual journey that this tale put me through taught me a lot. At the core, I learned that I have to accept the chaos of the story. It's fair and unfair. It doesn't make sense, but it makes all the sense. It holds chaos and it holds pure potential at the same time. It's mischievous and wise. It's very much Eshu-Elegba. This tale, this short and strange tale opened me up even further, and I love that for me. A lot of Eshu-Elegba's tales do that to me, but that's no wonder. You can call him a trickster, yes. Yeah, he is. You can call him a messenger. Yep, he is. You can call him a master teacher. Absolutely. You can call him the devil. Now, this one we can argue, but Elegba himself, if I could imagine it, would probably laugh and say, okay, sure, I am. You can call him many and all things, and it would be true. But at the end of the day, he is the master of chaos and destiny, and he is order and pure potential at the same time. Anyway, as we come to a close here, I want to say that I will never wish on myself or anyone trouble at the crossroad they may be facing or have faced. But I hope that we don't avoid or obsess with fear over life, and we just live it. And I hope that we learn to celebrate and dance with great agility, even when we fall. However, just like you, I am but standing in front of the ocean and the cosmos in complete admiration of how much I don't know. So thank you for being here with me and being a part of my journey. So until the next one, truth and love.